Just gonna do a quick overview, current bike, basically rundowns. Haven't done one in quite a while. I think at least a year. But we're gonna just go from the rear all the way up to the front. Rear is a arched ladder bar, custom one-off Sanddragon. The rear carrier, billet carrier, running a RPM Dominator rear axle with a DID chain. I'm running that chain tensioner specifically because if you see how close that runs, any side sway I get is going to basically rub against this swing arm. So I need to be careful of that. Basically, that's why I'm running that chain tensioner. Otherwise, you really don't need one. Rebuilt rear shock, running a billet spacer because I'm fat. Just kidding. No, for real though, the rear spacer is there because the higher spring rate shocks, higher spring rate springs for the shocks, are shorter. So you have to run a billet spacer up there. Billet spacer right up there to help get the full throw of your adjustments. Other than that, it's just completely revalved and rebuilt rear shock by Jokata Suspension. He's out of Arizona. Running 12 paddle extremes. Just I believe there's 74 rollout. 73, 74 rollout. With your direct drive cut wheels there. I think it's a Revenge design. Going up front here, braking system, running a Brembo master cylinder. I plan on doing a Brembo rear, but for now it's fine. Works just great. These you cannot find anywhere. I found one and I rebuilt it and I had it powder coated just because I literally couldn't find anything else, any info on them. Yeah, running the Mod Quad, just fancy stuff. Billet, basically reservoir, OEM shifter, but it's been powder coated. Running the APC Racing brake pedal from them, specifically designed for the lockout cover. APC Racing. These are back 2, down 1, as far as where their basically placement is, and I like that because it goes well with the brake. My foot's on there. Makes it a lot easier. Excuse the socks. It's cold. Motor is a Redline Racing 10 mil 465 serval, dune ported by Cameron, 38 millimeter air strikers. For the reason why I went air striker instead of standard PWK is on the dyno specifically. He was saying that it had better transition from bottom to top, bottom to mid. If you know Banshees and these in-frame drag pipes, shear or CPI or sniper, just helps out with that bottom end. Front end, I'm running Fireball long travels with Fox Evil R's. These arms were custom made by Fireball. Basically, you can only get these normally in 19 and a quarter inch shock range. And I had Evan and Larry over there build me a custom set that would work for a 17 and a half inch shock. I had to send my shock over to him to get it right. What else? Let's see here. Excuse him. Running, these are Laser Star. These are not traditional Trail Techs. They're actually Laser Stars. They're just reproduction versions. Running YFZ calipers. They fit great. They're literally a one-off thing. Not one-off thing. I'm sorry. They just break really well. Basically, they bolt straight up with zero issue. All you had to do is rebuild them, bleed them. They bolt on. They work great. I have the same braking power I do on my Raptor here. Right, again, direct drive front cuts. These are 21 by 7 by 10s, but buff bead to bead. Cascade cover there. Running the DRW case saver, best you can get. I literally don't know a better better case saver than that. The cases themselves are brand new, OEM. I got tired of dealing with cracked old ones and problems with that down the road, so I just said screw it and bought brand new cases. Transmission is a stock 1 through 6, neutral stock location, but it's a pro mod, just simple, shifts like butter. Crank is a billet Crankworks 10 mil crank. I sprung for the billet just because of how much better they are as far as build quality. The billet cranks, from what I understand from Crankworks, how they described it to me, was the center pin that goes through the whole crank that presses them together is larger diameter. They get a little more strength that way. I'm running a max load bearings on the stator side, or excuse me, clutch side. I'm running a TZ max load. Straight cut gears, of course, because you have to run the TZ, otherwise it walks. Yeah, I got an etched head on there. I think you can see that. Redline Racing etched head. I think mine was one of the first. Totally surprised me with that. I loved it. Obviously, the dual pingle gas tank drinks a ton. I'm actually really pleasantly surprised by this bike. It does not drink as much as I thought it would. Obviously, it doesn't quite get as bad as this guy. This guy's, I mean, not bad, as good as this guy. He's fuel injection, so they only take exactly what they need. Stock linkage in the rear. I know I said you go front to rear, or rear to front, back and forth, but kind of all over the place, I guess. And then ASV levers on top. Just running I'm kind of picky with my thumb throttle, so I really wanted it to be smooth as hell, as light as hell. So I'm running lighter springs in the carbs, and then I'm also running this Cascade extended thumb throttle. I didn't like the Mod Quad one. I have one. I got rid of it. Simply because the Mod Quad one comes out to here and then does like an arrow. So if you're riding like this for a long period of time, either it gets caught in your glove or stabs your thumb for a while, and it drives me nuts. So I went for max comfort. Pretty typical V-bars on the Banshee. I'm torn with these. I love the look, but I don't have as much turning power or, I guess, stability as my fat bars did, because they only come up to like here, and then they go straight out. So I felt I got a lot more stable with those guys versus these, but we'll see how they go. I think that's it. Can't remember anything else. Yeah, if you have questions, just let me know. Yeah. Oh, so excuse me. Cascade seat done by Kevin. Those guys are awesome. That's their logo back there. Pod filters. This is a dune only bike, so I don't plan on driving anything in dirt or road or anything of that sort. It's purely for duning purposes only. I wanted a key switch, so I got the undermount key there. I didn't see a reason, or logical reason at least, to put a key right here next to another kill switch right here. I understand on that one because it has, electronics for this one to turn the lights on and off for the system, and then it has this over here for your main kill switch. But on the Banshee, it didn't make any sense. So I wanted a key still, so I put it underneath the seat. So this is the main kill switch right now. Yeah, that's pretty much it.